Good morning, it's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine. I am here live this morning and I have 3 watercoloring techniques with 3 different cards for you today. I am going to do an online class, so if you want the card kit for this class, I will put a link below on how to order. You will have until this Thursday, which is July 21st, 2022 at midnight to order. And the kits will go out on Tuesday, July 26th. So I'll give more details as I go along. I am using the Hand Penned Petals stamp set. So here's the stamp set we are going to use today. And then I'm also using the coordinating, let me look up really quick. It's the Penned Flowers dies that coordinate with this stamp set. It's in the annual catalog, 2022 to 2023. Then I'm also, I paired it with the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. And it's actually kind of funny. It's very floral on one side and very graphic on the other. And I chose the kind of graphic patterns since I didn't have the exact same stamp set from that suite. So let's just go over the cards we're going to do. Here is card number 1. Here is card number 2. And here is card number 3. So same stamp set and same dies, but I'm going to do 3 different watercolor techniques for you today. And then if you want the PDF tutorial and the card kit, you will end up getting a packet of 3 envelopes like this in the mail from me with all the pieces cut for you. You'll have to provide your own stamps and ink and the coloring tools that I'm using. So before I point the camera down, I actually wanted to show them, and I can't think of what the name of it is right now. It's the new planner that if you join Stampin' Up in July 2022 or August 2022, you can get this for free in your kit. So I just wanted to show it because I was trying to show it last week on my live and it wasn't coming through very well. So this is how I set it up. There's a cute pen holder. There's a calendar for 2022 and then also for 2023. It's an 18-month planner. And then you get tabs so you can do like your month, what's your monthly focus, your monthly calendar, which I have started using it so you can kind of see. Oh, that's the weekly, sorry. Let me go back a page. There's the monthly, and then like there's the weekly, so you can see how I'm using it like a bullet journal of all my things I want to do that week. So, and then so on and so forth. At the back, there's like some pages that you can like take notes on and that sort of thing. So it's a really beautiful planner. It has a lock, magnetic lock over here. So super, super pretty. So if you want that, it's a $45 value and you need to sign up by August 31st, 2022. So I'm going to point the camera down and get started. Hey, good morning, Mary. Thanks for tuning in this morning. So again, let me find myself in my camera, but I'm using the Hand Penned Petals stamp set. And Facebook did a whole bunch of changes this week. I don't know if you guys have been on. And I'm not sure that I'm popping up where I want to be. So I hope I'm in the right spot. Give me a second to see if I can find myself. Here I am. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in because like I said, I have 3 cards to do today and they're not difficult at all, but it will give you some fun watercoloring ideas. I find watercoloring so relaxing after a stressful day. So let's just jump right into card number 1. So card number 1 is almost like a faux watercoloring. I almost think that I'm cheating a little bit on this one, but I wanted to show it as one of my techniques. I think I've showed it before, but it's been a while. I am going to bring over my Pierce mat. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so I always want my Pierce mat so I can get a good cushion. And then I'm using shimmery white cardstock on all 3 cards, but I'm also using basic white cardstock. So I am mixing and matching it. If you get the card kit, you will also get a PDF tutorial, so you'll get all the measurements of all the pieces I used. Okay, So I don't know if you guys do this, but for this one, I actually mounted the stamps on the same block. So I'm using the floral and the leaves right on the same block. So give me a comment if you do that. And thanks for tuning in. I know it's summer and schedules are crazy busy, and I'm using a lot of ink pads today. I'm going to end up using 5 ink pads. And for this one, I'm going to actually start with the Granny Apple Green first. And I have my sponge daubers here. So what I'm going to do with this one is I want to do 2 colors. So I'm just going to pick up the color with my sponge daubers and do the leaves first. And then I'm going to do the floral, the flower, floral. I guess you say flower if it's one flower, floral if it's plural, or I don't even know. Okay, so that's great. I'm going to do Melon Mambo. So I got the colors right from the designer series paper. So Stampin' Up! Does all the coordination for you of what colors to use. And I should say thanks for tuning in if you're catching the replay today too, or this week. I'm going to do a little bit stronger in the middle and then kind of just a little bit out. But you don't need a ton of ink for this technique. So, and then here comes the fun part. I have a Stampin' Spritzer with just tap water inside. And I know this is an older one. I think they might look gray if you bought it today. So I just have tap water inside. I am going to pick up my stamp off camera and just do 2 spritzes. And I'm going to go pretty close, 2 inches away. So just so I don't get water everywhere. Okay, so I did my 2 spritzes. And then I am just going to go right down onto my shimmery white. And it gives this kind of faux, or it's kind of a cool watercolor technique. Now you need to set this aside to let it dry for a minute or a few minutes. So I did one earlier, and then I die cut it out to finish this card. So this is going to be card number 1, and I have all my pieces except I need to do my banners. So I did use some of the free silver and gold designer series paper you can get with the $50 order right now through August 31st to the end of Sale-A-Bration. So I'm just going to do a banner with my banners Pick-a-Punch in the bottom of these guys. This is from the Hues of Happiness, the colored one. Oops, and it's a little bit snug, so. I like this punch because it does banners in 3 different sizes. So, okay, now I am ready to put all my pieces together. So like I said, I let it dry, and then you get this beautiful kind of textured on the shimmer white. You can also do it on watercolor paper. Hold on a second. Let me take a sip of tea. If you have the Fluid 100 watercolor paper from Stampin' Up, you could also do this technique on that paper. And I did the scalloped on the inside and the straight on the outside. This is this layering circles dies. So, oops, I forgot to do my stamping of my sentiment. So let's do that really quick. I did the congratulations on this one. So it could be congratulations for anything. I know I have a few friends that are getting new jobs, so maybe send this one in the mail to one of them. Okay. Okay, now I am ready to adhere all my pieces. So I just have a Granny Apple Green card base, so 4 1/4 by 11, a half a piece, so 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock. So I just cut it at 4 1/4, and then I scored it at 5 1/2. And I'm gonna do the Hues of Happiness banner first, a little bit of liquid glue. And I'm not going to go right in the middle. I want to kind of go off. I don't want to go right to the side or right in the middle. For the silver and gold, it's so thin. I like to treat it like a white So I like to use my Seal Plus on this. And then I'm just gonna offset this little banner here. And then we'll put on our flower, and then this one you could do either liquid glue or a little bit of Seal Plus. And then I just kind of want it, you could do it to either side. I don't want to cover up the entire flower, just like so. And then I ended up using the rhinestones, the basic rhinestones, because I wanted it to match the silver in the Silver and Gold Designer Series paper. So we'll just throw a couple little ones on with my little take your pick tool. So I don't know, just sprinkle them on. I like to do 3. One of these cards, I'm gonna do 9. I don't know if I've ever done 9 before, ever. So there is card number 1. Okay, so moving right along, let's do card number 2. This is super fun. I really love how these came out. So let me know if you want more kind of watercoloring techniques. This next one, I'm actually going to use the soft pastels. So let me think for a second. Let me do my stamping first and get that stuff out of the way. So I just have my envelope with all my pieces. So again, I'm going to stamp on a piece of shimmery white cardstock. And let me see, maybe I could give you a close-up of that first one. You barely can kind of sort of see the shimmery white. Let's see if we'll be able to see it a little bit better on this one. This one I'm going to use Stays On. And when you get your Stays On ink pad, there is this little clear plastic piece here, and it says do not discard. So do not discard that. You want to save that piece. You don't want this ink pad to dry out. And I don't know if you guys do this. I have 2 stamps. This is an E-block, and I obviously only own one of them. So I ended up doing both of them for the stamp for card 3 is on the other side. So I'm just going to add some Stays On ink here. We are using the one on the other side. And then I'm going to stamp. And then what I did for you is I die cut this out already. Okay. So let me move this out of the way. My desk is a disaster. So I die cut this out, and this is what it will look like with the coordinating die. But let's also do the sentiment while I have my ink pad here. I'm going to do the thanks sentiment for this one, and I'm going to go bottom left. So I just did it with the same Stays On ink. So what I do with my Stays On is that I clean it with the Stays On cleaner. So if you have the Stays On ink pad, you want to make sure you get the Stays On cleaner. But I also then use condition it with my Stampin' Mist and scrub. So I clean it with the paper towel and my Stays On cleaner, and then I bring it to after I clean it with the Stampin' Mist. So this is just going to layer up like so, but we want to color this in with our Stampin' Pastels. So super fun technique. I'm going to bring over the pastels. Let me see if I can get everything on camera here. I just have a scrap piece of shimmery white, and I should also say I'm also going to be using the water painters for this technique. So you get 3 water painters, 3 different sizes, and I did not grab a paper towel, so I'm going to have to kind of punt a little bit for this, but let me get my water painter ready. I'm going to use 3 colors from the soft pastels, and again I tried to match everything to the Hues of Happiness. So I have Mango Melody. Let me just do them one at a time so I don't make a giant mess with this. I am just going to scribble some yellow on here from Mango Melody. I did the Granny Apple Green. This is Mossy Meadow, so you could also do Mossy Meadow. And then I'm going to do some Gorgeous Grape. And you're thinking, what is she doing with this? So I just scribbled, so anybody can do this. Why did I use Stays On? I can't see the comments, so let me see if I can see. Why did you choose Stays On? So when I'm watercoloring, I like to use Stays On ink. It's with the Stampin' Up ink pads, like the classic ink pads are water-based. So then if you take in my water painter, I have water in here, tap water. So if you do water plus water, you're going to get a big giant mess. So with the Stays On, it will, oh boy, it's solvent ink. So it's the best one for watercoloring, the best ink that we have. So I'm just going to start this on my hand, and then I'm going to go yellow first, and I'm just going to pick up the color from my chalk pastels and do the small flower here. So this is like such an easy technique. Anybody can scribble with the pastels, and I can even go pick up some more. And I'm actually doing a really messy watercolor here. This is also one, since I die cut it, I don't really have to worry too much about staying in the lines totally perfect. And then I can add a little bit more. But this is where it's tricky. Now I don't want to go into my green because I have yellow. So I am just going to, and I just dripped water on my beautiful stamp, my beautiful thing. So I'm just going to take a little bit of scrap paper and get the yellow out. I would normally do this on a paper towel, but I forgot to grab paper towels from the kitchen. So I'm going to go into the green next. So I'm just going to drop some water in there. And I'm going to do a nice soft watercolor on the leaves. And this is actually going to dry pretty quick. I did not do one earlier, so I'm hoping by the time I get this card all layered up, we can add this on. It will be dry. Since I'm keeping it nice and light, and then a little bit of green on the stems. And then I can come up and kind of go over the artist's lines a little bit. And then same, I'm going to have to get the green off before I do the purple. So the gorgeous grape. So I'm just going to scribble on some scrap paper, or a paper towel works. And then I'm just going to drop a little bit of water in here. So I hope you guys try this if you have the soft pastels. And then be careful because this is a little bit darker. So I kind of want to go light and just kind of wash the color on there. And again, I'm kind of going messy and going outside the lines a little bit. But if you add too much color, you know, you won't be able to remove it. So just kind of nice light touch. And if I go a little bit, so, okay, and boom. I'm going to stop right there, get this out of the way so I don't make a big giant mess. I got some water on my piece that I stamped my thanks on, so I think I might still be able to make it work. So I'm going to let this dry for a minute while I adhere the other pieces of this card. I'm running out of room here. So because I'm going to use this again, I'm just going to do the same wash technique. But you have 3 painters, water painters. This is the middle one, and I tend to like the middle one the best. There's one that's a little bit smaller, and then there's a larger flat one. Okay, so let's get my pieces on. I have a Fresh Freesia card base. So this one, I just scored it at 4 1/4, and then I cut it at 5 1/2. So half of a sheet of 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock. We're going to put the gorgeous grape square down first. And again, if you get the kit, $35 online order by this Thursday, July 21st at midnight. If you spend $35, I'm going to give you the packet that's got all these pieces cut for you. But you'll need to provide your stamps and your coloring tools. Okay, and then I'm going to put a piece of designer series paper across like this. Again, this is the Hues of Happiness. And then I again brought in some of the free Sale-A-Bration silver and gold paper. So I should say a $35 kit, a $35 order is going to give you the card kit if you spend $50 or more, and it is Sale-A-Bration, so I'm going to also give you a pack of the rhinestones. Okay, this piece got a little bit of water on it, but I think I'm going to be able to still use it. So I'm going to put it on and hope for the best. Whoops, oh, that's okay. And then my piece that I colored is right here. So we're just going to put it on. Hey, you know what? I can hide some of the piece that got the water. I'm going to put this on with a little bit of Seal Plus. Okay. You can barely tell. Okay, and then with this one, I just put a rhinestone right on the yellow flower. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to drink tea, but I seem to have a little bit of a tickle in my throat this morning. So, one rhinestone jewel, that is card number 2. So let's move on to the last watercoloring technique. For this one, I'm going to do a no line watercolor technique. So I brought in another ink. And for this one, I have a rectangle that I'm starting with to do my stamping. I am just going to stamp off on Sahara sand, and we're going to do some coloring, and I'm going to color with Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, and Granny Apple Green. So this one's got 4 ink pads in total. So we're just going to start with our Sahara, and I need to stamp off on this one. So let me just bring some scrap paper here. So I have my stamp. It's this one here, the large floral. So we're going to stamp off in our Sahara, and then we're going to stamp onto our rectangle here. So you get a nice light color with the Sahara. Let me pick it up and show you. What I did is I die cut this piece out with the coordinating dies. So you get a nice light piece. I know it's hard to see, so I'm sorry, it's hard to see. Oh, thanks for your comments, pretty beautiful. Hey, good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Joanne. Thanks for tuning in live. So what I went ahead and did is I die cut this out. Okay, so we are going to start our coloring with our ink pads and our water painter. So let me find my water painter. It's right in front of me, but I'm just going to double check it on my scrap paper here. Okay, it looks good. I'm actually going to start with the Melon Mambo. So for this one, I actually flipped my ink pads over for these techniques, and I just kind of give it a squeeze or two, and then I flip over, and I'm going to see I have a whole bunch of ink in the lid. So there's my secret tip for this one. I have just tap water in my water painter. I'm just going to give it like 1 drop of water from my water painter, and I just got a drop right there too, and then I'm just going to take pull some of the color out. So actually it's pretty juicy and wet, but I mean, this is fine. With the shimmer white, it will pick up some of the color. And then I'm gonna go, and I'm probably gonna be pretty careful because I don't have a kind of protector underneath my mat here. But I'm just gonna try to get the overall shape of my flower following the artist's lines in the stamp. And no line watercoloring, I want to try to kind of go over the lines a little bit so you won't really be able to see them. And then I can just pick up a little more. Okay, so we're gonna do that 3 times for Melon Mambo. And then I'm gonna color the smaller flowers in Night of Navy, same technique. And I'm going pretty quick, so you could totally take your time with this. And they're flowers, so if you go outside the lines, it's totally fine. I'm normally an inside the lines person, so it's kind of a little bit funny for me to be like, let's go outside the lines today. Let me know, are you an inside the lines or outside the lines? I have funny stories. I remember being a little kid, and my cousin was a year younger, Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. And I'm like, you need to color inside the lines. So, okay, so my Melon Mambo is done. I'm gonna flip this and get this out of the way. And this is the one where I used 9 rhinestones on 1 card. I don't think I've ever done this, and I just totally colored my hand. So we're having fun. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. I'm gonna do the green actually next. So again, flip your ink pad over and give it a little bit of a squeeze, and then you'll get some color in your lid. Alternatively, you can use your ink refills. So if you have your ink refills, your re-inker, so if you buy, hey, I actually picked up the same color. I just grabbed one off the shelf. I definitely recommend that you get the ink refill when you buy the stamp set, just to protect your investment. So you could drop one drop of ink into the lid as well. If you like have trouble with your hands squeezing or that sort of thing. So I know we have a lot of stampers who are a little bit older and have dexterity issues, that sort of thing. So don't, if you can't squeeze, don't let that set you back from trying this technique. So again, I'm just gonna go over, and you might be able to see a little bit of the Sahara through the Granny Apple Green, but that's okay with me too. So just kind of get the color on there. You can add some more color, make it a little bit darker if you want. Okay, make sure you don't color a flower green. I think I've been known to do that before. I'm sure I'm not the only one. This one's pretty defined, this stamp set, so. Okay, and now I have my 3 or 4 leaves to finish, and you're an inside the lines person, Joanne. Yeah, I think overall I am too, but for this, every once in a while you gotta go outside the lines, right? Be a rebel. Okay, I'm just scribbling off my green so I can do my Night of Navy. And if I wanted it real dark, I could go into the middle and pick some up. But this, I wanted it more muted, which with this, it's going to be a little bit darker. So it's okay. They're kind of looking kind of like blobs right now, but I know they're flowers. Okay. So beautiful, looks great. And again, let me show you how to finish off this card. I am just going to set this aside for a minute and start layering up, and then hopefully that will be dry enough to add on. So again, I have a Melon Mambo card base, so 4 1/4 by 11, scored in half at 5 1/2 to get your card base. And then I'm actually going to put on a rectangle Night of Navy. And we will just put this kind of right in the middle. Then I have a strip of this beautiful Night of Navy floral pattern from the Hues of Happiness. We'll just add this over. And then I just did a piece of basic white. And I'll have the link below to place your orders to get the card kit and the PDF tutorial. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera a little bit. Oh, I totally forgot to do my sentiment. So I normally probably would freak out at this point, but I did not do my sentiment. So let's try to add it on here. I did the Feel Better Friend sentiment in Night of Navy. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, that actually came out pretty good. Let's get this out of the way. And then, just to finish it off, I added this piece on. I'm just going to do liquid glue. Then I can really just smush it down and add my rhinestones and really bling it up. So I'm using this one. I did all the smallest rhinestones because I added so many. So again, if you do a $50 order by this Thursday, July 21st, 2022, I'm going to send you a packet of the rhinestones and the card kit, and you'll get an email with the PDF tutorial. If you do an order for $35 or more, you'll get the card kit and the PDF tutorial with the measurements and the photos. So that's card number 3. So let me know, let me show you all 3. And let me know if you have a favorite. So card number 1 was this cute congratulations with the kind of faux watercolor technique, or watercolor technique just with the spritzer. And then the thanks card was with the soft pastels. And then the Feel Better Friend with just no line watercoloring with our ink pads and our water painter. So let me know if you have a favorite. I will put the link below to get the kit and how to place your order and all the details. Let me bring the camera back up at my face to sign off this morning. So I'll put a link below with all the details of how to get this card kit for free in the mail from me with your order. And don't forget, if you do place any order over $50, it is Sale-A-Bration through August 31st. So you can get a free item with your $50 or more order. And if you spend over $100, there are a couple things you can get for free with a $100 or more order. And if your list is over $125, you should think about getting the planner kit and picking out any $125 merchandise for $99 plus tax. You get free shipping on that one kit order. So shoot me a message, a private message, if you want to chat about joining. So anyways, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover for today. Oh, I did want to mention that the soft sea foam and pool party cards, the cards and envelopes that were part of Sale-A-Bration for free with a $50 order, those have already sold out. So anything in that little Sale-A-Bration brochure that you have from me, or if you don't have it, you can download it on my blog at christinestamps.blogspot.com. It'll be in the left panel side. So anything in that little Sale-A-Bration brochure is while supplies last. So while I was just live here with you, I used the silver and gold designer series paper. That totally could have already sold out yesterday or today, and I don't even know it. I don't think it sold out yesterday. I did look yesterday, but just to let you know, everything is while supplies last. So let me know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful week.